Welcome back, you guys, to my YouTube channel. So today we have a fun little story to tell. And this story is all about how my ex got me arrested. Yeah, you heard that right, and you read that title right. So this takes place about 2 years ago. And let me just tell y'all, before any of this happened, before I even hung out with my ex that night, I was already smoking with a friend. Okay, I was smoking with my best friend before this, and nothing happened. But of course, with this dumb fuck, I get arrested. So basically, my ex, and for this video, his name is gonna be Jake. And if you're watching this, that's your name for the video. If you don't like it, don't watch it. You already know what happened. You were there when it happened. So, yeah. Anyways, so Jake is the type of guy that was very suicidal, very sad, depressed, but he was also a stoner. That's like the one thing that made him feel better was smoking. Now, I smoked a bit at the time too. Had a little glass blunt. She was my beauty. Ugh, I love that baby. I need to get another one. And I'm so mad that I lost this one and how I lost this one. So anyways, to the story. So, like I said, I already smoked with my best friend that night and nothing happened. And then I came home and I saw Jake posted on his story. He was all sad in his feels, and I didn't know it at the time. Like, I'm the type of person that tries to make people feel better no matter what, especially if I care about them, and I did care about him at the time, and so I wanted to do anything that made him feel better. So I texted him like, hey, like, I was asking if he wanted to hang out and smoke, and he was saying, oh, he doesn't have any, and I was like, well, I have some if you want to come over and smoke. And so he came by and he picked me up, and before he did, I packed my glass blunt, that little beauty, and I brought it with me. And now, he was a smoker. His car reeked of weed, so just remember that, okay? His car reeked of weed. But anyways, so we smoked together, we drove around for a bit, and we even stopped at a gas station. I think I went inside and got some drinks or something like that, and then it was time for him to take me home. Now, his car was also acting up when he went to go take me home. But so I had him park. I don't like people at my house. When I was living with my mom, I didn't really like people at my house, just for personal reasons. My mom's a very private woman, and so I followed in her footsteps, and I didn't like people taking me to my house or even picking me up from my house. So even though I liked this guy, I didn't want him knowing where I lived. So I had him park near my house to drop me off, which just so happened to be like the side of a school parking lot, kind of. It's the way the school was set up or whatever. But anyway, so he parked there, and we talked for a bit, and then he got out to check his car, because I think his car was leaking or some shit. I don't know. Anyways, he got back in the car, and I was literally gonna leave, but I'm like, let me stay and talk with him. I should have left. I should have fucking left, because you know what happened? 2 seconds later, squad car pulls up right behind us. Like I said before, Jake smoked a lot, and his car reeked of weed. So no matter if I wasn't smoking with him or not, his car would have smelled like weed. So the squad car pulls up, and I could feel this bitch's anxiety. And we were a little bit high still, of course. So he was getting fucking paranoid, and the cop car pulling up behind us did not help anything. So the cop comes to our window, and he has Jake roll down the window, and the cop starts talking with him. He's like, what are you guys doing here? And I tried, okay, because I felt his fucking anxiety, so I'm like, oh, let me handle it. And I told him before the cop even walked up to the window, I'm like, let me talk, okay? Just let me fucking talk, let me handle this. And so he's like, oh, we just stopped here. my car was leaking and I was about to drop her off, but I wanted to check on my car first. So we just pulled in here real quick to, and the cop immediately smelled weed. And he's like, have you guys been smoking? It pisses me off talking about this shit because I was raised, okay, let me just stop for a minute. I'm gonna stop the story, okay? I was raised by a smart woman, even though I don't fuck with her anymore. I was raised by a smart woman, and my brothers have been in trouble with the law before. Not because of themselves, but because they were around stupid people that did stupid shit, and, shit happens. But I was raised to keep your mouth shut. Don't fucking say anything to cops because they're not your fucking friends. They're just trying to make their money. They don't give a fuck about you or your sob story or whatever. They'll do whatever they need to do to make their money. I don't like cops. I don't trust cops. They're not my friends. Now, Jake, on the other hand, he was raised, cops are your friends. Comply with cops. If you just tell them the truth, nothing bad will happen. It pisses me off. Because I didn't think he was raised that way. And I found out real quick that he was. So anyways, the cop's like, have y'all been smoking? And he's like, to be honest, yeah, we were smoking earlier. And I'm like, I try to talk over him and I try to be like, no, we weren't smoking, but this bitch wouldn't stop talking, apparently. And so the cop's like, I'm gonna have to search your car. I mean, he looks in the back window and he sees the bong in the back. Now, Jake, if you're watching this, you can shut the fuck up because I know what you're about to say. The bong was in the front seat, in my seat. And I moved it to the back, yes, because I didn't want to fucking step on it. It was like, I'm pretty sure it was a glass bong, and I didn't want to end up breaking it, so I moved it to the back seat. He blamed this shit on me, okay? And he's like, after this whole thing, he was like, if you didn't put the bong in the back seat, they wouldn't have fucking, shut the fuck up. You better shut your fucking mouth if you're watching this, because you have no place to talk. You did not spend the night in jail, so you can shut the fuck up. Anyways, so the cop sees the bong in the back seat, and he's like, I'm gonna have to search your vehicle. And so he's like, yes, sir, do whatever you need to do. Like, you can search my vehicle. Anything's in here is mine, blah, blah, blah. Like, he's, complying with the cop. And I did try speaking over him. I did try, before it got to that point, I tried. But the cop was ignoring me completely. He didn't give a fuck what I had to say. He was just listening to this little bitch run his mouth and get us both in trouble. So anyways, we step out of the car, right? The cop's searching it. Backup cop comes by. She's a girl. She's just standing by, right? He's sitting on the sidewalk, fucking just admitting to everything that's in the car, saying, I have this in my car, yeah, that's mine too, this blah, 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 blah. He had a bong, he had a bowl, he had a grinder, all this shit, right? Now my glass blunt, where's my glass blunt that we were smoking? My glass blunt is put away. Okay, it's put away where nobody needs to fucking know, because that's my glass blunt, that's my business, right? Fair. That's my business. That's my shit. If he wants to claim everything else because it is his shit, let him claim all that shit. Not my problem, right? So he's sitting on the sidewalk admitting to everything, and he's crying a little bit, blah, 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 blah. 5 more cops pull up. 2 more squad cars. Well, 3 squad cars pull up. There was 2 and 2 of them. So 5 guys, 5 more cops pull up, right? And they didn't need to come there. There was no business there, right? The main guy searching the car doesn't speak to me once, okay? And the girl cop, she was the backup cop. She's just standing there just looking pretty, okay? And then these 5 other cops pull up out of nowhere, and they walk up to me and him, mainly me, and they start talking shit. They start threatening. They're like, oh, if you got anything else, you need to talk, you need to admit it now, blah, blah, blah. Just trying to scare me, right? I get it. They're just being asshole cops, being dicks for no reasons. I get it. This is exactly why I don't fucking deal with cops. This is why I don't say anything. This is why I just keep my mouth shut. This is why. Cops are not my friend. And I know this. Before this whole thing happened, I knew this. So I just tried not to fuck with cops. But yeah, the 5 other cops pull up and they're just basically harassing me, and they're kind of talking to him a little bit, but they're mainly hounding me. They're like, if you have anything else, you need to admit, blah, blah, blah. And then over on the side, the original cop is like scraping shit out of his bong, doing this, doing his thing, you know? And then, yeah, so they're harassing me, and then fuckface Jake, he's like, Courtney, just give it to them. Under his breath. He didn't say it loud enough for them to hear, and I'm like, I looked over, I'm like, at this bitch crying on the fucking ground, and I'm like, give him what? I don't have anything. And I fucking brushed that shit off. And the cops were like, what was that? And fuckface opens his mouth again. He's like, just give it to them. Like, just fucking give it up to them. Like, they're gonna find it anyways. Are y'all angry? I'm fucking angry. Oh, whenever I tell this story, it pisses me off, okay? It really just makes me so angry that he had to open his mouth. He could have just sat there crying like the little bitch he was. But he just had to open his goddamn mouth for no reason. I mean, you know what they say, right? Snitches get stitches. Oh, God, I wish I... Anyways, back to the story. So he opens his mouth and he's like, just give it to them. They're going to find it anyways, blah, 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 you know. And the cop's like, if you have something on us, we're going to find it. Like, you need to just give it to them. And he says it again, and they're like, do we need to search you? And I'm like, I don't have anything. Like, there's nothing you're going to find. And then he spoke up again. He was like, Courtney, just fucking give it to them. And so I don't think I admitted to anything. But they did end up having the backup cop, the female cop, search me. And she patted me down, okay? And she felt something because I don't got fucking boobs. I wish I did. I fucking wish I did in this scenario. But my glass blunt was chilling in my bra because, like, that's my business. It's my business. I didn't say you know. But they ended up patting me down, and they found it, of course. And she patted it. She's like, what's this? And she's like, you need to take it out for me. So I took it out and I gave it to her, my glass blunt. And they scraped it out. And of course, because it's a glass blunt, if you know how a glass blunt works, the bud melts down when you smoke it. And there's like a little bit of resin that sits on that little hot plate. So of course they scraped up that little bit of resin, testing it, and it was considered a concentrated form of THC. So I got arrested for it. Now, keep in mind, fuckface Jake had a bong with plenty of resin in it. He had a grinder with plenty of bud in it. And he had a bowl with plenty of resin in it as well. Now tell me why after all of this, I get handcuffed by the original cop who didn't say a word to me the whole time. I get arrested, thrown into a squad car with this man, and I see Jake, you know, because I had to take my wallet and my phone out and put it on top of the car. I see Jake take my phone and my wallet, and I see him go with the cops. Well, actually, I don't think I seen him get put in a car at all, actually. I just saw him grab my stuff, and I left. Sat in jail for 13 hours. And, you know, my family didn't expect me to be in jail. And, you know, it's funny is because right before this, 2 weeks before this, my mom accidentally got arrested. And she's never been arrested as far as I know. She's never really been arrested. But she got arrested for a DUI because she was on some stupid shit. She was with a drunk person. They smelled like alcohol, even though she was driving safe, blah, 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 whatever. But she just got arrested 2 weeks ago. So they didn't expect anyone else to be arrested. So 13 hours go, like, well, it was more like 8 hours go by, and then I finally got to call someone. Because when I got brought down to the jail, it was like shift change, and I had to sit there for hours on hours before I could even call anybody. And I tried calling all my family members, the numbers that I remembered. Nobody was picking up, and I was crying. And so, you know, I was like, for shits and giggles, let me call my phone, right? Let me call my phone. You know who answers my phone? Fuckface. Fuckface Jake answers my goddamn phone. And he, you know, the first thing he says to me, he's like, I'm at work right now, I can't really talk. What you need? I'm like, bitch, I'm fucking in jail. I'm at work. I hope y'all are angry at this motherfucker as much as I am. Because not only did he snitch on me, and he is the reason why I'm sitting in this fucking jail, he has the audacity to say I'm at work right now. I'm not actually angry, let me just say. I have made peace with the situation. I paid my dues, and I have, like, healed from this situation. But when I talk about it, it pisses me off that he had the audacity. But anyways, he's at work. I'm at work right now. I'm like, bitch, I'm fucking in jail. I was like, can you fucking, I told him the password to my phone. Like, all my bank information's on my phone. Please give it to my mom. Get me the fuck out of this jail right now. And, out of all the people that could have answered, it pissed me off that he was the one who answered the phone. And it was my goddamn phone. And yeah, anyways. So, it makes me so mad. But yeah, so when I got out, what happened to him, okay, this is what happened to him. And I know for a fact that these cops racial profiled me. I am a colored woman, and Jake is a white male. That's all I gotta fucking say. You know what happened to Jake that night? Jake got driven home. Poor baby Jake had to walk all the way back to get his car. But then he got to go back home with my stuff, sleep peacefully, and go to work the next day. Poor baby Jake did not have to sit in a fucking jail for 13 hours waiting to get bailed out because they got arrested by a motherfucker who just couldn't shut the fuck up. No. Poor baby Jake had to go to work. Anyways. Let me stop being mean, but not. It just makes me so mad. Anyways, my mom ended up bailing me out. I got out, yeah. And I ended up having to pay a lot of money, and I had to go on probation and all this shit. I ended up having to pay almost $2,000 for this bullshit. And nothing happened to him. He didn't go to jail. No ticket for even driving under the influence. Nothing. They didn't take his car. Nothing. He got to go home. And you cannot tell me there was any other reason but the fact that I was colored and he was not. Because I was not being like, I was getting harassed by 5 fucking cops. Hounded for over nothing because I didn't have anything as far as they knew until he fucking spoke up and told them some shit. And all the other shit he had, let me remind you what he had: a bong, fucking grinder, and a bowl. And he was driving. I was the one who sat in jail for 13 hours. And he got to take my shit home with him. What the fuck? Don't you just love cops? Don't you just love them? Oh, I just love them. They're such my friend, Jake. Oh, yeah, they're such a good friend. They just let me sit in fucking jail for 13 hours while you got to go home because you were the whiny little bitch that couldn't fucking shut up. If he had shut up, if he had just stopped talking, I would have went home that night. And he would have gone arrested. As he should have, because he's the one who started complying and giving up and admitting to all the shit that he had that he shouldn't have had. And yes, I shouldn't have had that glass blunt, but it was put away. It was not visible. It was not known to the public until he made it known. And the sad part about all of this, and I must have been mentally ill. Because after everything, months later, I mean, I was still his friend after all this shit, which months later, I ended up dating this guy. Yep. I forgave him, and then I dated him. And, yeah, that's how the story went. I hated every minute of it. And when I talk about it, it's like I relive it, which pisses me off because the whole situation was just so fucked up. It was just so, like, honestly, like, to be honest, it wasn't too bad. Okay, my mom's experience sitting in jail was way worse. But for me, it wasn't too bad. It was just like how I ended up there. Because I did not deserve to be there. If anything, he deserved to be there. And that's what really fucked me up, is because, like, the whole reason I even hung out with this fucker is because he was sad and, you know, and depressed and suicidal. But, like, I know he does that for attention. After this, I realized he did it for attention. I mean, it took me some time because, like, I am such a caring person that you can keep playing me over and over again. I'm gonna see past all that, and I'm gonna see someone that's hurt, and I'm gonna want to help. But, like, I realized that he was just doing that shit for attention, and when I look back at it, it just makes me so mad that, like, I really let myself get into that situation over a dumbass, fucking whiny ass, little ass, bitch ass, motherfucking Jake that didn't deserve a second of my time. And I was also so pissed because I had saved up the money that I had to spend on probation and everything. I had saved up for a car. And literally before all this, before I got arrested and everything, I was so close to having a car. And then all this shit happened, and all that money, that hard-earned money that I saved up, I had to use to pay for all this shit because of him. I mean, I eventually got my car, my baby, my little Opaline, but it was set back because of this whole situation, and it just, like, it blows my mind that I really put myself there. Like, I didn't know that all that would happen. But it's just like the cost, the cost of liking someone like him. It just, I can't believe it. But anyways, that's the story of how my ex got me arrested. And if you guys are on Jake's side, y'all can kindly and disrespectfully actually fuck off. Bye.